Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good yesterday, good tomorrow. Welcome back to Apio Puzzles, everybody. This is Jordan, and we have a treat in store today. This is the seventh installment in the Rat Run series by the legendary Marty Sears, who's risen to fame over the last couple of years with some very interesting, creative, and of course, logically complex puzzles. And this Rat Run series is no exception to that. These have been awesome. I've done two, I think, on the channel. I've got a third that I need to upload, and this is number 7, which has just been released, I think, yesterday. It's already had enough solves to get a rating of 3 out of 5 for difficulty, and somewhere in the high 90s in terms of percent satisfaction rate. So this should be a real treat. Now, there is a lot of rules. They're not too complicated, but there's just a lot of words, and there's some paraphernalia as well. So no room for me on the screen, which is not the worst thing because I'm currently unwell with all sorts of some sort of crazy cold that's not any of the nasties, but is nonetheless nasty in itself, including conjunctivitis. So my eyes are probably not ones to be looked at right now. But I thought, since I have nothing else to do and I've been hanging out for this puzzle, why not give it a try despite my ailing health. I will put a link in the description to this if you'd like to give it a try for yourself. I think there's not much else to say but to read the rules and give it a try. So as with all of these puzzles, there's some paraphernalia that goes around it. There's an ongoing kind of narrative about these experiments involving Finks the rat. So you can see at the top there the cut-off piece of paper, experiment number 7, black, 17th July 1974. I expressed my concerns that we are introducing too many teleports too quickly, but Elliot assures me that the technology has been rigorously tested for many months. He likes to use the analogy that it's not really that different from sending a fax, but I'm not sure how convinced I am. Now, these teleports are the coloured cells in the grid, and these were introduced in the last puzzle, I think, and where there was just one, and now there's a whole host of them. So let us see what the rules have to say. So normal Sudoku rules apply, which is that every row, every column, and every 3x3 box has the digits 1 to 9. With these walls in the grid for the maze, it makes it a little bit less obvious that these are 3x3 boxes. They've got these kind of dotted lines around them, but they're just the normal Sudoku boxes. Now, aim of experiment. Finks the rat must reach the cupcake. So Finks is here, and she must reach this cupcake by finding a path through the maze. The path must not visit any cells more than once, cross itself, or pass through any thick maze walls. As well as moving orthogonally, Finks may move diagonally if there's a 2x2 space in which to do so, but may never pass diagonally through a round wall spot on the corner of a cell. So a lot of words to basically say that there's going to be a path through the grid that Finks takes, and it looks like in the beginning it's going to be pretty forced. Must go up and down, left and right. Can't go through these solid walls. Can't go across these little circles, but can travel diagonally in a case like this where there's nothing intervening, and can't loop back and touch herself, which makes sense. If she came around here somehow, she couldn't come back up and touch herself. So that is that. Now the teleports. Entering a teleport will cause Finks to be instantly transported to the matching coloured teleport. From there, she can continue her journey. Matching teleports always have identical digits, but teleports that don't match always have different digits. Now, that idea of them having identical digits is something I forgot in the last puzzle, which caused quite a delay in my solve. But what that's saying is that the A and the A here will always have the same digit in them, and that will be different from all the other letters. So A, B, C, D, E, and F are all different digits, but they match according to their colour. Now, one-way doors. Finks may only pass directly through a purple arrow if moving in the direction of the arrow, or the arrow is pointing. An arrow always points to the smaller of the two digits it sits between. So these are kind of like mathematical greater than, less than signs. So the digit on the big side is always bigger than the digit on the other side. And if Finks is traveling along her route, she can only go through one of these if she's traveling towards the smaller digit. So she couldn't come up and go towards the 4. That would break the rules. So that's that. And finally, the test constraint. In this experiment, for any 2 adjacent digits along the correct path, one can be divided by the other to give an exact integer. One is a multiple of the other. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen that rule before. So what that will mean is, let's say we had a 3 here, and that's on the line. Let's just draw an imaginary line. And let's say that the path was going through there. We'd be saying that the digits on either side of that 3 had to be either divisible by 3 or a divisor of 3. So you could put a 1, because 3 divided by 1 is 3. You could put a 6, 6 divided by 3 is 2, or a 9, 9 divided by 3 is 3. Any other digit, you would end up with a, if you divide one by the other, you'd end up with a non-integer, and they're no good. So that is how that works. And that is all there is to know. So as I said, let's start, and we can see in the beginning that the path is absolutely forced up until this point. And actually, she can't come down this way. If she came out this way, she'd come down, and then this arrow here is pointing the wrong direction, so she wouldn't be allowed to go through there. So actually, she must come down to here, and then it's a choice between this cell and this cell. Just noticing as well that the cupcake here is kind of out in the open. In previous puzzles, it's been the case that you kind of start doing the path from where Finks is, and you get stuck at a certain point, and then you come to the cupcake and figure out kind of what the limitations were in terms of which direction she came in from. But in this case, she can come in from all over the place, so that may not be the same. Now, it does seem likely that this is not correct, because then it looks like she could probably just get straight to the cupcake, which defeats the whole purpose. So why is that wrong? That covers the entire box. Okay, what we're going to be concerned with here are big prime numbers. Interesting. So there are 4 prime numbers under 10, 2, 3, 5, and 7. Now, 2 and 3 don't pose any problems in the respect I'm about to talk about. 5 and 7 do. So I'll explain what I'm thinking about 5. So if you put a 5 on the line somewhere, the only divisors that you could put are 1, because you can't put 10 and there's no other integers you can put. So you'd have to put 1 on both sides, which is going to break that cell. This is also true of 7. So if in this box you put a 5 or a 7 anywhere kind of in the middle of the line, then that just simply can't work. We know the line... no, hang on, let's be careful. Oh, wait, well, yeah, I'm assuming that this is the case for a second. I'm trying to disprove this. So if this was the line, you could not put a 5 or a 7 in any of those. So these would be... those would be a 5, 7. And that doesn't work because this one has to have a 1 next to it, and this one has to have a 1 next to it, and you've got the same problem. Nice. Okay, so that means that the line, as expected, is going to come... If I could just get this to work. I don't know what's happening here. There we go. And she's going to come out through here, and then that's pretty forced as well until... Well, in fact, that's forced all the way because these are pointing the wrong direction, so she can't go through them. So she is going to come out to the purple, and then don't know what happens after that. But let's still consider this, because we know that there must be now a 5 or a 7 on the line, because they can't both be in this cell, and we need there to be a 5 and a 7 in the box. So I think that presumably means that this, yeah, you couldn't put it anywhere along the middle of the line. You can't put it here. because you would need a 1 here, which is not more than the 5 according to that greater than sign. So actually you must put a 5 or a 7 here, followed by a 1, and the other 5 and 7 must be here. What are the other difficult digits? We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 9 strikes me that 9, and probably 9 actually is the most difficult, because 9 can only be with 3 and 1. So in fact, where can the 9 be? Either it's with next to the 1 and then it's followed by a 3, and I think that's what it will be, because otherwise it can't go anywhere in the middle, because it would have to have the 1 next to it. So it would have to go here, but that is not less than this digit, because it's a 9. It's the biggest digit. So the 9 does go there, followed by 3. 3 can only go with 1, 3, 6, and 9. So it must go with 6. 6 can go 1, 2, 3, 6. So it's a 2. Wow. And then we get a 4 and an 8 left. And the greater than, less than dictates the order. So that's that. That's cool. Now, this digit here has to be either 1, 2, 4, or 8. Obviously it can't be 4. Can't be 1. So it's a 2 or an 8. And it comes, is that going to, I don't know what's happening with my computer today. Well, there we go. That clashes with the 8 there. So this has to be a 2. Nice. So after 2 can go with 1, 4, 6, or 8. So it's 1 or 6. 1, I'm just thinking about the 5s and 7s again, and we've got a 1 by Sudoku in one of these cells. It can't be here because it wouldn't be bigger than this cell. So there's a 1 in one of those. Does that pose a problem? Yeah, it does, because if you were to put a 5 or a 7 on this line, as per the top box, it would have to be on the end of the line, because anywhere in the middle would need a 1 on either side of it. But if you put a 5 or a 7 here, you cannot put a 1 here because of the 1 at the top of the grid now. So that means that neither 5 or 7 can be on the line. So this is 5 and 7. So now we've got the difficult digit of the 9. And the 9 by Sudoku, because of the 1 in the top box, is in one of these. And 9 has to be surrounded by 3 and 1. And 6. Let me just think about this for a second. I feel like this must be pretty forced. What if we've got 4 and 8 as well? No, the 4 and the 8 are over here. 4. Hang on. So if this was the 1, you'd have to go 9, 3. And you can't do that because the 3's there. That's the way to look at it. So that can't be the 1, because we know the 1 goes with the 9 and the 3. So that is a 6, which means this can't be the 9. So the 9 is in here. The 3 could be, in fact it is here, because 6 can only go, 6 can go with 1 or 3, but if this was the 1, then this would be 9, 3, and the 3 at the top breaks that. So this is 3, then 9, 1 to complete that trifecta, and then we get the 4 and the 8 over here, whose order I don't think is clear. And the purple goes to the purple, being 4, 8. Okay, so that's pretty good. We've gotten quite a bit done there. Now, over here, the line is either going to come around the top, around the bottom, or directly out, but it's always going to come through there. I wish I'd used the red line actually, it's a bit clearer, but anyway. Now, if this came direct, would that work? Well, this digit here, because we've got 4 and 8 in the column already, this would be pretty limited. 4 can only go with 1. Well, there's no 1 either, so 4 can only go with 2 of what's available, and 8 is 1, 2, or 4. So that would also be a 2. So that's the only way that can work. And then this 2 can go to 1, 4, 6, or 8, and they'd all be used because we've got 1, 4, 6, and 8 in the row already. So that actually is good because that means that that is not in play. Oh, also should consider 5 and 7. Oh, right. Okay, hang on. That's going to come out here and then go one way or the other. But this 5 and 7 by Sudoku has to be somewhere in here. And it simply cannot be on the line because it would need 2 1s. So the 5 and 7 are down here. And then they're in here by Sudoku, and they can't be there for this. Ooh. No, they can't, because this can't be a 1 because we've got a 1 here. I thought maybe we could go 1 and 1 with a 5, but we can't. So that becomes 5, 7. And we're left with 2, 3, and 9. Well, I think that's clear what's happening there because these 2 digits here have to be 3, 9. You can't get a relationship between the others. That makes that a 2, which does go with 4 or 8. But also the path now, because of the 5, 7 down here, the path must come up and around. We know that 3 and 9 go with 1, 3, or 9. 2 goes with 1, 4, 6, or 8. This digit's more than this one, so it's not a 1. This is probably... So if that's a 9... Oh, well, before I continue with that, this 5, 7 prevents this line here. So we now know that the snake is doing that, or the path, and coming out here where it's got many options. So we'll figure that out in a second. So this cell here has to come from 3 or 9. So it is a 1, 3, or 9. That's interesting because we're getting a bit of stuff there. Almost some sort of triple. And then after this, well, this could be any value because a 1 can go with any value. But if it's a 3 or a 9... Oh. Oh, wow, okay. Hang on. If that's a 3, 9, then this digit has to... Oh, it could be a 6. I was going to say it had to be a 1, but it could be that this is a 3 with a 6 here. That places a 6 up there, which isn't obviously wrong. Okay, so 3, 9 would actually... But if this was 3 and then 9 here, this would have to be a 1. So it's a 1 or a 6. Or you've got a 1 here coming from either of these. And then the 1 can go to any digit. That's not so clear. Is there something Sudoku-wise that I'm not seeing? I suppose I could actually consider what digits this one can be, just what it doesn't see. So it sees a 2. It sees a 3. It does not see a 4. 5 and 7 are out. Actually, yeah, 5 and 7 are out because they're in the box. 6 is still possible. 8 might be possible. And 9. Okay, so that's got quite a few options. This is less than this. Oh, actually, there we go. Sudoku. Is there Sudoku? Well, there's not a 9 in any of those cells. This one can't be, 9 couldn't be less than this. So there's a 9 specifically in that set. And, wow, that's not that useful. It feels like there's a problem here. Well, let's say this was a 1 and this was 3, 9. You'd have a 1, 3, 9 triple. Ah, that doesn't work. That's interesting. If that's 1, and so we get rid of these ones, and we have a 3, 9 pair there. What goes next to this digit here? A 9 would have to put a 1 or a 3. That can't work. So it would have to be a 3 next to a 6. But the 6 can't go next to an 8, which it would have to because it's less than that digit only. So that's interesting, and that's not a 1. That one isn't either. Now, does that mean this can't be 3, 9? Yeah, this being 3, 9 would have made this a 1. So now this can't be a 9, but this can be a 3 because you go 3, 1, and then whatever digit. So if this is a 1, that's a 3, 9 pair. See, that's it almost breaks, but I think because you can do, like, I think you can do this and then have that and a 6. It almost feels like that might be what the answer is. So what's preventing this from being a 3? 9, 3. This would be the 6 to go with a 3. Maybe this runs into problems over here. This can't be a 3. But it could be a 1. Maybe that's the point, is this is always 1 or something. And then this can be any digit, so that would be good. I think I'm going about this wrong. I mean, it was interesting, that little deduction there, but maybe the 5 and the 7. Is there another digit that's just not? I know the 9's in there, so I bet there's something on the Sudoku front that I'm not seeing here. So this digit here, if it's a 4, what does it go to? Only to an 8 or a 1. Oh no, in fact, that 4 would make this 8. So then that would have to go to a 1. If this is 6, then this can go to a 1 or a 3 only, because the 2 is not available. Oh, we might get a 1, 3, 9 triple. Hang on. 8 goes to 1, 2, 4 only. So 1 is there, 2 it can't be, and 4, yeah, 8 would put a 4 here, so it couldn't go to a 4. So we get a 1, 3, 9 triple, and in fact a 1, 3 pair. There we go. So that's 9, that's 3, that's 9. The 9 here, that's still ambiguous. Okay, but hopefully this will give us something to work with. So a 3 here would have to go to a 6. We do have the remaining digits in the row are now 4, 6, 8. 1 can go to anything. Okay, well, that's slightly irritating. Oh no, hang on, by Sudoku, there's a 3 here is the point. That's a 1, that's a 3, and that is a 6. Beautiful, okay. Classic missing the digit in the box. So neither of these is 6. This 4, 8, I think, can go either way. and we're left down here with 5, 7 and 6. This one can't be a 6 from the 6 up above. It can't be a 7 because 7 can't be less than this one. So that is a 5. And we get 6, 7. Okay, not bad. Still doesn't tell us exactly what's going on there. But we know that Finks is going to come out at the 6 and then have some options to consider. 6 can go to 1, 2 and 3. This can't be a 1 or a 2. So if she comes up here, she'd have to come to a 3 because the 1, 2 along over here. If she came here, she can't come to a 3. It'd be a 1 or a 2. And if she came here, 1 or a 3. Interesting. Let us quickly consider some Sudoku. There's a 6 in here. 9 can't be there or there by this one. So it's in one of those 3. There's also a 3 in one of those by Sudoku. Which doesn't seem to tell me a great deal. And across here there's a 9. There's a 9 in one of those cells. I wonder if there's a problem with there being a 9 on one of these things. Curious. Well, can it go through a 9? What would you have to do? You'd have to go 6, 3, 9. So that can work. Or indeed, no, you can't go to 1. So yeah, 6, 3, 9 would work. If it came this one, 6, 1, 3, 9. It wouldn't have to be 3, 9 though. The 9 could be over here, and this could just do some other combination. Oh, we know there's a 2 down. Oh, we know there's a 2 here by Sudoku. That's nice. So now, can we go this way? 6 to a 2. This would have to come to a 1, 4, 6, or 8. And 8's the only one available, which in turn would have to come to a 1, 2, or 4. Which would come to here, which can't be a 1 or a 2, so it would have to be a 4. That seems believable. And slightly surprising. Let's consider this 8 here. 8 can't go there because that can't be a 9. But 8 can go anywhere else. It'd be nice if I could resolve this 4, 8 down here, but I don't think I can. So it looks like this can go any direction at this point. Slightly concerning. I'm going to just have a look at this actually. So this is 1, 5, 7. This could be interesting. This is 1, 5, 7, and 4. Now I said that yellow could come across here if it's a 4. But if that was the case, I wonder, to get out of here, we're going to struggle, aren't we? A little while, maybe. Let's see what these digits are. I'll just undo what I just did and put these in. So we need 2, 3, 6, and what am I missing there? 9. Yeah, so what would happen? 4 would have to come to 2. 2 would have to come to 6. 6 would have to come to 1. Oh no, this is not a 1, 4, 5, 7, sorry. It's 4, 5, 7, and 8. Right. Oh, but yeah, okay. So, but it can still only come to a 4 through the yellow. So you go 4 going to 2, 2 going to 6 in one way or the other, and 6 unable to get out. So actually you can't come to yellow, so that's good. We are not coming through there. We do know this is a 4, 5, 7 and not an 8. So we can take that 8 out of there. And I might just mark that. There's an 8 there or there. We're not coming to yellow, so we're coming to one of these. That means we're definitely coming through a 9. So, no, that's not true. That means that if there's a 9 up here, we're coming through and we're going to hit a 9, but if there's one in here, that's not the case. So if this is a 9, this has to go this way. 6 goes to 1, 3 or 9 have to go to 1, then any digit here, and then as long as there's a digit to go along with it. Coming up would mean this was not a 9, but in fact it would have to be a 3, and then this would have to be a 1 or a 9. It would have to be a 9 rather, that would put a 9 there. So if it comes up, you get 9 and 9 in those positions. I might just try to label this somehow. It's a bit awkward, but and if it comes this way, 3, then this does have to be a 9. So in this column, the 9's in one of those two cells. Yeah, which is to say it can't be in this cell, right? If it was here, you couldn't get there. 6, 3, this would have to be 9, and then, yeah. And if that's, so if it's not going this way, it's coming this way. But if that's the case, this has to be a 3, 9. So this is never a 9. Minor deduction. There's a 9 in one of those two cells. Might just get rid of the colouring. Or maybe I'll colour them all, just try to remember. So 9 in here is not in those, so it's in one of those cells. Lagging a little bit now. The green comes to here and must be more than this. So if this comes up here, we're going 6, 3, 9. Oh, is that the point? Oh, yeah, indeed. That would go, well, hang on, that can't even go to 6, 3. What am I talking about? Oh, no, that's right. It goes 6, 1, and then, oh, and then any digit here. Oh, is that saying that there's never a 9 in this cell? Because if we come up this way, we have to go to a 9. And if we come up this way, we can't... Oh no, we could go to a 9, because then this could be a 3. Putting a 3 over there. Ah, but we can't do that. Whoa. It's kind of where I was going. This digit here is more than this one, and this digit is at least a 4, so this is at least a 5. I may as well put them all in to save making a mistake later, but this is 5, 7, 8 or 9. So this is 5, 7, 8 or 9. We know it's not 9, so it's 5, 7 or 8. So this can't be a 9, because if this is a 9, we're coming this way, because coming this way requires the 9 there, and that 9 can't go to any digit there, so that's not a 9, which means the 9's in here. I don't know if that, oh, that means this is not a 9, and this is not an 8. Oh, if it's a 5 or a 7, you simply can't visit it, so it would have to be an 8. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Oh, that's okay. I thought that was broken. Oh, no, you can't be an 8 for here. Ah, that's a 5 or a 7. Beautiful. So this actually has to go up, because 5 or 7 would need a 1 next to it. So this is the 9, and this is 3, and this will hopefully... Oh unravel the secrets of the universe. 9 goes there by Sudoku, which is more than every other digit, so not much to say. But these digits, 5, 3, and 8. That one's not a 3. Oh no, sorry, that's not 5, 3, and 8. 5, 8, and 7. It's better. And I don't know if we can say more, but that 9 comes to here, so that is where we're coming out. 9 can only go to 1 and 3. And it can go to any of those cells. Well, there's no 1s available anywhere there because the 1 here and here. So the 9 must come... well, one thing that's worth noting, it's not relevant here, but a digit can go to itself. If you had like a 5 here, it could go to a 5 diagonally because they are a multiple of each other. So, but in this case, obviously it's the same box. So you can't go to a 9, you can't go to a 1, you must go to a 3. There's a 3 here, so this is the 3. And let's join the line. Now 3 in turn goes to 1 or 6 only. And again, can't go to a 1, so must go to a 6. This 6 makes this a 6. Beautiful. One little step at a time. Finks tentatively makes her way towards the cupcake. It's quite the journey she's taking to get there. Now this 6 has to come to a 1 or a 2. And again, it can't come to a 1, so it must come to one of these 2s. Not that one. And then it feels like 2 becomes quite... like that has a lot of options. So let's just clear up some Sudoku here. That's no longer an 8 because of the green digit. So this can't be a 7. That's a 4 or a 5. What have we got left? 4, 5, 7, and 8. So that's just... oops. Interestingly, there's an 8 in one of those in the row. So this can't be an 8 here. Oh, and this is less than this digit, so this has to be big. It can be a 6. It can be a 7. It can't be an 8 or a 9 because it sees those. So this can't be a 7 because it can't be less than that. So that's a 5. Makes that a 7, 8. So that's a 5. That's a 4. That's a 7. Whoa, it's all happening here. That's a 6. Take the 9 out of there. Take the 5 out of here, which makes that a 4 in the middle, which makes a 7, 8 pair, and a 5 over here, all by natural Sudoku. We need a 3 and a 1 here. I don't know if we know the order. The green 5 in the corner makes this a 5, and that is fine. That resolves this, 7, 5. Okay. Wow, so that was a real run. Is it going to continue? Surely I know, surely this resolves some stuff. Oh yeah, the 7 at the top gives me 5 and 7. We can take the 7 out of those. Oh, and the yellow is 4 now from the top left. And the 5 gives us the 8 and the 5. Wow. This is really powering along now. There's a 5 here by Sudoku. Old mate. There's a 4 in one of those two. I don't think that matters. What are these digits? We need 1. Is that 2, 3, 6, 9? No, there's no 9 there. So that's 2, 3, 6. So we're left with 1, 7, and 9. And the 9's not there. I hope I didn't do that wrong before. I'm not sure. Well, fingers crossed that we're not about to discover our mistake. The 6 can still come to either of these 2s. That's what I'm hoping would be resolved. From the 2, it has to come to a 1 for... In fact, there is a 1 in one of these. But there could still be an 8 here that I think would work. Interesting. Yeah, so let's let's just look. There's a 9 in one of those. We could start to think about the cupcake. Yeah, I mean, if that was... I'm not convinced, actually. I feel like there is another piece of Sudoku. Yeah, this 6 here. There we go. I was thinking there must be something more. So that's a 6. Yeah, this is an 8. This is a 4. This is a 4. This is an 8, which is purple, which is naturally enough resolved anyway. This is an 8. This is 1, 2, and 4. That's not 2, that's not 4. That can be anything, I think. So these digits here now are 2, 4, and 7. That's not a 4, that's not a 2. We are coming to the 2. And then this here is a 1. Oh, hang on, why have I got a 4 there? I think I mistyped something. That's not supposed to be a 4. That's a 7. I think that's just a typo. 4 and 7 are above each other on the keypad, so we're going to trust that. This is a 1, 8, and the 8 across to the left gives us that this is the 1 and this is the 8. Ah, good. Now this, if whatever happens, this 6 is coming to a 2, and where does the 2 go? Well, I was going to say the 2 can't come to the 1, so it must come to the 8, but it could come 2, 4, 1, I think. That's annoying. Yeah, that's... I was going to say it had to come here, but apparently that's not true. I was thinking about this question about where... Oh, sorry, this 8 here makes this a 7. Oh, this will be interesting because just looking for any quick Sudoku from that. Not really anything interesting. In fact, there's an 8 there. That is interesting. But this 7 is the cupcake, and it's a prime. So 7 can only come to 1 or 7. And it can't come to here, because if that was a 1 or a... Well, it would have to be a 1, but there's already a 1 there. So, and the other point would be if that was a 1, 7 pair, you would break that 1. Yeah, that's the same point. So this 7, curiously enough, comes to here, and even more curious, we don't know which value it is. Oh, yes, we do, because of the 1. Let's get our head in the game here. So that is 1 and 9. Now, where does the 7 go from there? Well, it can only go to here or here, and it must come to a 1 or a 7. It can't come to another 7 orthogonally, so it must come to 1, must come to 9. So she's really taking the scenic route. The 9 has to come out to this cell, which means that that can't be a 9. This is a 9. This cell has to be a 1 or a 3, which is fine, I think. Got a 1, 3 at the top as well, so this becomes 4, and that's a 1, 2. In this column, we still need the 6. Seems to work. 2, 3 pair here, so that's a 6. That 7 gives me the 4. 2, 7. This is a 2 or a 7 in the row. This is a 2 or 3 in the row. No, that's only a 2, so that's 3, that's 2. That makes this a 7, this a 2, and this a 7. That's interesting because it can still go 2, 4, 1 or 2, 8, but this digit may be an issue. So we've got 1, 3, and 4 to place. That's a 4. That is interesting actually. 1, 3. That 1, 3 and 1, 3 in the column mean this is a 2 and this is a 1. Now, Well, where's the 1, 3? Ah, that's, yeah, the 1, 3. Yeah, this 8 would be a, oh no, it can go diagonally. Where have we got to get to? Yeah, I see, interesting. Or maybe this 9 is a dead end. Yeah, if you came up here, where are you going to go? 6 or 8? They don't work. So you must come through here. You must come up. The 8 can only go, of the digits available to it, 5, 2, and 7, it must go to the 2. Oops, directly to the 2. I think that means we're probably going to come over the top here. Well, yeah, 2 has only these 3 to go to, so it must come to the 1. We can't come to the 5 because that can't go anywhere. So we come to the 4, we come to the 2, and we come to the 6. And that is going to resolve the deadly pattern because the 8 can't go to a 3. So that's a 1, that's a 3, that's a 1, and that is a 3. Hey, now let me just check you can see this fully on screen. Yeah, okay, so here we go. Experiment completed successfully. Cells visited 42, one-way doors used 2, teleports used 4. Although initially startled by the noise of the teleports, Finks quickly became adept at using them. Heart rate returned to normal by the time the cupcake was reached. Teleport B overheated after use. Further calibration required. 46 minutes 38. And that is it's been solved 135 times. It's not been out that long. I think it was only published yesterday, so maybe it was tested. It was tested previously by a few people, and then it's been solved quite a few times in the last day or two. I like the puzzle. Now, what's this? Teleport B overheated. Is that to say, which one is B? I can't actually see the letters anymore. I think that's B. Yeah, that's B. And why did that overheat? I'm not sure what that means. But wow, that was awesome. There's the puzzle that I don't want to let on too much, but in one of the other puzzles, there's an aha moment that is kind of in a similar ballpark to this, realizing this. Actually, the one in the other puzzle is actually more exciting. But I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in the solve, but I did cross my mind that we might end up in a situation where these primes, although they can only go to 1, that technically they can go to themselves as long as they go across the diagonal. And I wonder if that's going to be played on, and indeed it has. Amazing puzzle. This is like a great example of brilliant puzzle design, but also coming across an idea in his build process where he's realized that if you have this idea of factors, you automatically introduce a problem with prime numbers, in this case 5 and 7. And then you can use that little glitch to create all sorts of deductions. So once again, Marty, thank you very much for that brilliant puzzle. Super enjoyed that. I think there is another one due in a week, so I'll no doubt be back with that. In the meantime, happy puzzling, everybody. Thanks for being with me, and I'll see you all again next time.